Hi everyone, this is Abeokuta world-class train station. So since this train station was commissioned, we've been hearing a lot about it, and we decided to take a trip from Lagos to Abeokuta. Now, we would have gone to Ibadan, but we heard that Abeokuta have more tourist centers than Ibadan, so we decided to go to Abeokuta, and then we took the train. It was nice, the train was cool, the booking section was easy, and then they were so timely. If you get there late, you will miss the train. Like, you should be there 30 to 20 minutes before departure, and then it was a smooth and fascinating ride. We stopped at different points to pick, and then we finally got to Professor Wole Soyinka station, and then we took a cab to our hotel, and then in the next morning we decided to enjoy the facility there. We went to the gym, we did some little exercise, and then we had breakfast. They served us breakfast, and then off we go. So we are heading to Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library. So this is the entrance, and then we went straight into the wildlife park, that is the zoo. The entrance into the zoo was a beautiful sight, and then the animals there at the reception were all so beautiful. So I was told that most of the animals here, the skeleton, are real animals that have died and embalmed, and so that was what was placed apart from the photos. And then some of them are the skeletons of dead animals in the zoo. So the animals there are not one wood or something, they are real animals. And then we went into the zoo, and then we saw different animals. We saw the lion. This is a lion. We heard the other one is dead. I don't know what happened. And then we saw different animals. We saw the leopard, we saw the hyena, and they are just all there. It was a nice one. So there was a lot of barricade, of course, for protection. And then the one that fascinated me most was the ostrich. I've never seen ostrich. I didn't know ostrich was this tall, almost as tall as I am. This ostrich, I stood very close. It was so high. And then we saw the baboon and a lot of them. So it was just a beautiful one. It was a beautiful sight. You can see the ostrich, the neck, the neck was very long, and it's just like a giant, and it's so big. And then this is a peacock, I guess. And then we saw the porcupine. Okay, this is a vulture. And then we saw, we saw an eagle. I don't know if I captured it. And then these are the goose, and then parrots. This parrot is so beautiful. We didn't wait to hear it talk. And then the gazelle. Yes, this is the gazelle. So they all have. And then the porcupine. Yes, I've always loved porcupine. Growing up, I've seen it in pictures, and then I saw it live this time. The pines and those chuku was just there. It was fascinating, So, and then this is a snake. They call it python. And then this hyena. This one was just so restless. It was just jumping up and down all over the place. And so there was another. I think there are 3 different species of this hyena. They have the striped one. They are just there, but this particular one was just so restless, and I really don't know what his problem is. And then this is another one. Then the third one, there's one that is so beautiful, so beautiful. I love that particular one. Yes, this one. So this one is so beautiful. I don't know why it's just shining away. It's kind of okay. So they are just all there. So some of the animals we are told are dead, but the ones that are alive, they have a lot of animals. Okay, so that was how we went round. We saw monkey, baboon, and then we left the zoo. Just beside the zoo is this rock that has a staircase. So we took the staircase, we went up. It is called the Rock of Inspiration. Because if you're inspired to do anything, you just come here and you'll be motivated to complete it and to do whatever you want to do. And then if you want your prayers to be answered, you can come to this rock. You can go there, you can see a cross there. You just go there, pray, and your prayers will be answered. That was what we were told, that this is called the Rock of Inspiration, that all the people that have ever been there, they've always gotten inspired and their prayers have always been answered. Okay, we said okay, we left there, and then we went to the river for a boat cruise. Okay, so this river is just there's a demarcation between this river and the next community. So it's just to go around the Obasanjo presidential library. So we took a boat cruise just to and fro, and after which we went straight to the first gallery. This gallery has information and artifacts of the things he used when he was in military as the president, and after which we proceeded to the second gallery. So this gallery is bigger than the other one. The other one is more of military, his time in the military, and then this one is when he was the civilian president. So we went straight. So this is just a replica of a typical African sitting room, and then these are his souvenirs. So this is a replica of his time in the prison, and then this is a replica of his hat when he was a farmer, and this is also rock when he was the president, and this is the entrance, the souvenir shop where you can get souvenirs of whatever you want. And then we went home. He went home to rest. And please subscribe, like this video if you haven't done so. So we are here at Olumo Rock, and then this is the rock we'll be climbing up, and then we'll go there first. So that is the art gallery. The tour guide is going to take us there first, and then we'll go up the mountain with lots of paintings, artwork. It's just so fascinating to see a lot of African paintings. And then this particular painting cost 2 million naira. It's a painting of the rock before the government took over, and this was how people used to gather there. So the tour guide was just giving us information on how people used to climb the rock before the government took over, to just build staircase to make it easy for people to get into the top of the mountain, the rock. Okay, so this particular painting is made with cans, so it's can work, painted, and then so beautiful. It's also very expensive. So there are a lot of paintings in the gallery. They have souvenirs, they have African prints, they have African fabric. So these are the heroes of Nigeria, and then we have African fabric, design, clothing. It's just a beautiful place. So when you come to Olumo Rock, you should leave with something to show that you went to Olumo Rock. So this is, what will I call it now? So the seat is wooden, and then this is Eko. I think we call it Eko in my side, and then your Igbo people call it Uncho, if I'm not mistaken. So we had to play it. It's for sale actually, but you can actually play. They sell it together with the seat. And then these are Yoruba books, and then these are the people they're selling. So they have a lot of traditional and African, our cultural things there. So it's just when you get there, you'll be so fascinated. And then so that's the history of the Olumo Rock, the daughters, the Egba daughters, and the rest. So we had to climb. So to get to the first floor of the mountain, of the rock, we had to go through the staircase, and then it is not easy. Thank God. I wonder how people used to climb the rock before this staircase. So the tour guide was just giving us history of the mountain, the trees over there. There are 3 trees there, and they're telling us the history of the tree. And there's one particular tree he called Odom. Yes, that was what he called the tree. The tree is called the resilience and dogged tree. The root from that down staircase, the first floor, the root of the tree extends to the upper floor. Is it the upper floor now that we went to? So they say they call it because this tree can move, like it can move to any part of the rock, anywhere you plant it. It travels far and wide. So this is the bottom of the cave. They call it where the Egba men went to fight. The men went to fight the war at the top of the mountain, while their wives and children hide here for protection. And then those holes you are seeing there are the places where the women used to grind pepper and grind all the things they used to grind. So those are the holes there. So the women were safe here while the men went up to fight. And then just beside it, you have the heroes of the warriors of the Egba land. This is just a replica, just to remember them. These are not their faces. And then the cowries they use in exchange, as a medium of exchange there on the floor. So these are the faces of the people, and then we now went to the other. I think this should be the second floor more. This one, it is, you can't even do it alone. Thank God for the tour guide. They are so helpful. They have to hold your hands, and then you wonder, and they said nobody has ever fallen from this rock, and the rock is just so, like, it's so risky. I'm telling you, I practically held my heart in my hand. I was like, God, I'm not sure I'm going to do this again. See me celebrating after crossing that part. It was so scary. In fact, there's this woman that refused. You see this woman, she refused to go for that. She said, I'm not going again. Even the tour guide had to hold her hand. She said, I go nowhere. And then we finally got to the top of the rock. I was so happy. Man, climbing that rock was very scary. So that's why they had an alternative. If you don't want to climb the rock, you go through the staircase. But we decided to go have the experience. We climbed, and it was an experience. So this is the staircase. So after coming through the rock, you can go back through the staircase. But some people, those coming with children, came in through the staircase. But if you come in through the staircase, you won't even have the experience. So they have a lift there that will take you down to the bottom of it, but it's no longer working. You know Nigeria now. And then here are the signatures of people that have visited the rock before, and then they dropped their signature. Some old boys association, secondary school, and all that. So we went down through the staircase, and then we are going down, and we'll be heading back home. Okay, so the more as we are going down, people are coming. In fact, that place was just so busy, so busy. In fact, the children, people are coming, and then this is the waterfall. After I thought it was a tiring and interesting tour to Olumo Rock. So I've heard so much of Olumo Rock, and I finally experienced it. So we went to the market where they say adire, and we got adire. We just got adire just to show as a souvenir. We finally used it for our Christmas. We got Christmas adire. Did I tell you that this trip was done in November 2024? It's not a recent trip. It was done in November, towards the end of November. I can't remember the date. I have the videos. I just didn't know how I've not been able to edit it and then post it. Okay, so this is it. We went back to the train station. We got our luggage and we waited. Guys, transportation in Abeokuta is something else. Very expensive, very expensive. If you don't drive to Abeokuta, just be ready to be angry, because from here to here they'll give you one useless charge that you don't know. I thought Lagos is expensive until I got to Abeokuta. So this is our train, waiting for our train to arrive. So we got in, we boarded, and then we went straight to our seat. You have your seat number, you go straight to. So the train was filled up to the brim. Like, if not filled up, okay, my own section was totally packed up. It was totally full. And then going back was a tiring one. I didn't even know when we got to Lagos because I was so exhausted. It was the day we went to Olumo Rock. So we're coming from Olumo Rock, tired, exhausted, and then off we go. And then we landed Lagos, and there was no light. But we had to find our way back to where we park our car, and we went back home. So thank you for watching. Thank you for coming with me to Abeokuta.